Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Towards the end of season 4 in 1967, companions Ben and Polly left. Then producer Ines Lloyd and script editor Jerry Davis decided to replace them with a new single female companion, and it came up with two potential options. The first was Pauline Collins' Sam Briggs in The Faceless Ones, but Collins turned down the offer to become a series regular, going on to have a successful career elsewhere. So the production team went with their second option, Deborah Watlin's Victoria Waterfield, introduced in the following story, The Evil of the Daleks. And the rest, as they say, is history. But what if things had gone differently? What if, in an alternate timeline, Pauline Collins hadn't turned the offer down? What if Sam Briggs replaced Victoria? Now, this is another scenario that could very easily have happened. All we need is to imagine a world where Pauline Collins accepted the offer, and that's pretty much it. This could be the initial offer from producer Ines Lloyd, or after Fraser Hines or Patrick Troughton had begged for her to change her mind and accept. And with that, Samantha Briggs now decides to join the Doctor and Jamie at the end of The Faceless Ones. Perhaps this occurs instead of her kissing Jamie goodbye, or it happens afterwards, once she's reunited with her brother off screen and changed her mind. Either way, she then helps the Doctor and Jamie try to find the TARDIS at the beginning of Evil. Speaking of Evil of the Daleks, it would now need to be altered slightly so that Victoria never becomes a companion. She could still be a part of the story, of course, and rescued by Jamie and Kemmel, but she wouldn't join the Doctor and Jamie in the TARDIS at the end now. Yes, I guess we could have both her and Sam travel with them at the same time, but given that Lloyd and Davis wanted just the one new companion, and Sam and Victoria were both under consideration for that part, as opposed to being meant to join the TARDIS together, I don't think it's all that likely. I think it works best to have Victoria's father survive the end of Evil of the Daleks, rather than sacrifice himself to save the Doctor's life, which then means that one of the Emperor's guard Daleks would never be in a position to fire at the Doctor. So Victoria and her father say their farewells to the Doctor, Jamie and Sam. Presumably the Doctor would try to take them back to their own time of 1866 in the TARDIS, although given that this is when the Doctor couldn't really control the TARDIS that well, perhaps they'd end up in 1966 instead, unless the fast return switch was able to get them back to the right place somehow. They would certainly have their work cut out for them if they did return to the correct time, as Waterfield's house had been destroyed by a Dalek bomb. After that, Samantha would travel with the Doctor and Jamie for probably the same amount of stories as Victoria did in our timeline. So that's the Tomb of the Cybermen all the way to Fury from the Deep. Although we could always have her leave in the Web of Fear if we wished, for reasons that I'll get into shortly. Her presence in those stories wouldn't really alter them too much. She would just make for a stronger, more sure of herself female lead compared to Victoria, although Sam would probably still scream, which would still be the resolution to how the seaweed creature is defeated at the end of Fury from the Deep, if that is indeed her last story. The main difference would be in regards to a romance with Jamie. Unlike Sam, who definitely had romantic chemistry with him, Victoria didn't really react in that kind of way towards Jamie. I mean, it's obvious Jamie had feelings for her, but I don't know if those were actually truly reciprocated. Victoria was also very young, only meant to be about 14 years old I think, with Jamie definitely being at least a few years older than her, either late teens or early 20s, with expanded media giving his age when he first met the Doctor as 22 years old. So when you stop to think about that for a second, that makes scenes like this a little unintentionally uncomfortable.
Wearing that kind of thing.
Oh, so it is, so it is. You don't see yourself dressed like that then?
Jamie!
But with Sam, not only is the romance definitely 100% there and probably reciprocated, but I believe she's probably closer in age to Jamie too. She seems a lot more mature than Victoria after all. So that whole implied subplot would work a lot better. As for why Sam would eventually leave the TARDIS, maybe she simply gets homesick and wants to spend time with her brother again. So she takes the contemporary settings of Fury from Deep or The Web of Fear as an opportunity to act upon all of that. That's what I meant earlier about coming back to The Web of Fear in a bit. Doctor and Jamie especially would be very sad to see her go, I'm sure. Zoe would still become a next companion and introduced in The Wheel in Space unless Sam leaves at the end of The Web of Fear. If that was the case, then maybe Zoe's background gets rewritten so that she can be introduced in Fury from Deep instead. And that would be that. The only other thing is that it would be Sam that would be considered to return for the unmade story Meltdown instead of Victoria. I believe that was during the 6th Doctor's era. And if her availability allowed and real-time pictures could pay her usual salary, then Pauline Collins would return as Samantha Briggs in 1995's Downtime as well. I don't think her stint as Samantha Briggs would necessarily stop Pauline Collins being cast as Queen Victoria in Tooth and Claw. But if we really wanted to go with someone else, Annette Crosby could play the part instead, as she was offered it after all. And that's it for the scenario. As much as I liked Victoria and Deborah Watlin's portrayal of her, I think Samantha Briggs would have made for a much stronger and more interesting female lead for Season 5. And the whole slight romance subplot would definitely have worked better with Sam as well. There's my take on what if Sam Briggs replaced Victoria. What do you think? Do you like my take on it or not? And would you have done anything differently? Please let me know in the comments section below. Anyway, so thanks for watching, I hope you liked it. Please don't forget to press that subscribe button below, as well as press the bell icon on the side of it, so you'll stay notified of when all my new videos come out. And feel free to join my Discord server where we chat about everything from Doctor Who to what if scenarios, and just whatever you want really. You can find a link to it in a pinned comment below, along with a link to a wiki page for my what ifs. And I shall see you all in another video. So, until next time, bye bye!